on the Hot 97 Morning Show. Rosenberg, Old Man, and the Mob.
Well, hold on, watch how we do it. Each of you say your name. I'm gonna point to you, and then their names going to appear on the screen.
Okay, do it.
1, 2, 3.
Hey man, I'm AP Ferg, that trap lord.
See that?
What's up, man? It's ASAP Nasty Baby.
What's up, ASAP 12? You the good going. Holla.
Yeah. The mob is here.
I think the most important thing to address off top is a rumor on the internet, which probably isn't true. I'm gonna bring it up. That ASAP Mob and Pro Era have some sort of friction and conflict.
Negative.
False.
Not true.
Negative.
Those are the little bros.
All right, good.
So we're quelling that right now.
I like that.
It's quiet.
Love it. Love it.
But y'all heard that too, or am I off base?
Nah, I didn't hear nothing about that.
I mean, I've been hearing about it. You know, like I feel like it's recently been sparked now that I put out the Trailmatic record, and they feel like, you know, we're jacking they swag with the whole '90s thing.
Oh, the boom bap beat, Method Man.
Yeah, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Other people felt that they would be upset.
It wasn't like, you know, like any of the main members that, you know, that I know of. So I'm not taking it as any Pro Era ASAP, you know, until any of them speak up and say something directly.
Man,
I never really take it as beef,
man,
unless you say my name or you say his name or you say something.
Shout out to Pro Era. Those are the
Ferg,
little homies.
you don't see any issues here.
Hell no. Those are the little homies. We was just on tour with them.
Shout out to Pro Era. You guys, I think it's cool, man. I was just saying this the other day. New York hip hop is in a fantastic place. So
right.
Let's since we're tackling controversy, let's jump right into it. Trinidad James said what he said about New York. You guys are prime examples of New York artists who have gotten supported by New York radio.
And Trinidad James is a colleague of ASAP.
We was just on tour with him too.
So how did you feel about that? The comment.
I mean, I just feel like he got an album coming out and he ain't got a single.
Trolling.
out.
He was trolling.
Exactly.
But that's still the homie.
Exactly.
That's still a homie. But trolling.
Exactly. You got to make some type of noise. Everybody does it.
And maybe, and I always said, I thanked him actually.
Right.
You know, as a fan of the scene and somebody who has challenged the scene and said that there's minors and majors and all of that and people had issues with it, but I just wanted to push everybody to be like, nah, fuck that.
Right.
This shit got to be hot.
Definitely.
I thanked him because I see now how people have come together.
And they stepping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Mano talking his shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, Trailmatic couldn't come at a better time because it got like that New York flavor, you know what I'm saying, that they probably wasn't getting from ASAP. Like you got like Shaba and Work and, you know, not to take anything away from that, but it's really showing like a whole different aspect of ASAP.
I just want to say that, you know what I'm saying, like from the get-go, we came out on our 90s, you know, shit.
Right.
So for us to be on some 90s stuff now is nothing new.
Well, I think people are confused by it because here's the thing: the mob is big, right? So, like in both Rocky and Ferg, who have been the most public faces of the mob, you could clearly see the influence, particularly in Rocky when he first came out. The Houston influence was major. And, you know. So, like even someone like me at first, I was like, I don't know, I really like this guy, but this isn't necessarily what I deem to be New York with my own stupid standards that we all have.
Right.
So, I think for a lot of people who haven't taken the time to dig in, this is a great thing because they're learning that y'all know the history, y'all have done the knowledge on New York hip hop. Right. It's not like y'all just came up and only rocked with Houston hip hop.
And not only that, we all got different styles, you know what I'm saying? So he might be New York on his own style. I'm New York on how I feel New York is, you know what I'm saying? We all individual, we all different individuals. So I'm not coming with the same swag he got. Like he came with his swagger right now. It's my turn. Let me show you what I do now. You know what I'm saying?
And then a lot of times my argument be like, what is New York anymore? Like, cause you went from like Cameron, I do what I do and do what I do it. And then you had like, you know, a hip, a hop, a hip, you know, it changes because now kids are hanging out on the internet. You're not hanging out on any specific block now. You can be talking to a kid from Japan or be getting beats from Beautiful Lou in Houston. You know what I'm saying? And that automatically is switch your sound because Beautiful Lou is from Houston and he makes Houston beats. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna set as good. You're gonna have to fix your flow for that. So
I think most of that comes from people trying to hold on to a period in time where they really felt like their ideas from their region were represented well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's nostalgic and it's like meaningful. You know what I'm saying? So now
and I understand that because
yeah.
we love a certain era too,
Yeah.
like of 90s. It's not even like It's like 90s and early 2000s. Like, we fuck with that whole era. Like, Lost Boys, Mary J. Blige 411, Black Moon, all of that. We fuck with all of that shit.
I think, too, and I got words from some of the OGs that have been rhyming for 20 years that are still relevant. And they asked me not to say their names, but they was like, yo, please tell New York MCs to stop getting on this New York sound bullshit. It's embarrassing.
Right.
And the reason they said it was because, to your point, the New York sound, what we love, became so big and so massive that other regions adopted it to just be a part of hip hop.
Right.
So then they took what was the New York sound and then put it through their filter from where they're from and developed their own sound.
That's how it
so
goes.
now it's up to New York to go, okay, we got to take what's popping and develop our own movement and our own sound and get back
it's the natural progression of music.
Right.
The idea that you guys wouldn't have an influence from all over the country would mean that hip hop has shown no growth. Of course, that when I open up shows for you cats like you guys or the Zombies or whatever,
young cats,
kids. Honestly, I'm an adult; they are kids,
and I'm old, so that's
the youth run it.
When I play for them, though, like, if you play, I found it really interesting right from jump because you could play some 90s shit and people go crazy. Like, you play a Keep It Thorough and they get excited.
Right.
But then you might play See Murder, Down for My, or David Banner, Like a Pimp. And people get excited for that too because they grew up on that too. So I think it's just it's a natural progression.
And not only that, like, I'm like, me and the whole ASAP is just about innovation. And I feel like with this one song, Fuck Out My Face, off my album, that's me, Aston Matthews, you have Be Real, and you have Onyx on there.
Crazy.
Why wouldn't you want to hear all of these people together? Like, why would you want to just keep it one way? Like,
why did you want Be Real and Onyx on a record?
Because I never heard it before. Like, that shit just blew my mind. It's like, all right, like, I didn't get that when they was doing their thing and they was running hip hop. Like, that's what I wanted to hear. Like, that was a dream song for me. So I wanted to make it happen.
What does it feel like when you make that happen?
I feel like a fucking god.
How's the white women treating the mob? Because you guys specialize in white women. Y'all from Harlem?
I let Nas speak for that.
I ain't gonna say we specialize in white women.
Tell the truth, 12.
We don't specialize, but we definitely get them. We get them by the flavors, the layers, and all that.
So all different flavors.
All flavors.
What do you mean? Wait, hold up. Nas is lying.
Nah. My bro good money. He be chilling. He cooling.
You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong with indulging in white women.
Why are you acting like white women are pork?
No. I got my girl. My girl
They're
is
just not pork.
They're just women.
It's not pork.
No, it's not a crime.
It's not the other white meat.
They're just regular. It is the other white meat. They're just human beings also.
Nah, but my girl is white, so you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
so now here's perfect. I'm glad. So so is mine. So I feel some type of way. I've told you
I
this
feel
before.
some type of way.
Some type of way.
for real.
I generally there's no shit talking about white people that I care about ever, except
my white queen.
when people go, I don't know, white girls are loose. They'll do anything. I'm always like, hey yo.
Nah, for real. I
It
feel
sounds
you.
a little crazy.
I feel you.
And I understand the reputation.
Time out, Rosenberg.
But come on, that sounds
Time
like
out.
you can't wife a white girl,
Nope.
and that's crazy.
Nope.
No,
Now
you
we're
deaf
being
kin.
racist.
No, time out.
Nah, you deaf kin though. Cause my girl, like I get that all the time too, and I be like, dog, like I give you $1 billion that I don't got if you can even like get her to even think about you.
But
or
let's go down the
anything.
couch to 12, who has been
What up?
known to say that white women don't have lips.
Anybody on this side, look.
Stop trying to. Okay.
Yo, Ebro, my man. And I'm gonna keep it 100 from my
Come
experience.
on, man.
From my experience, I traveled the 7 seas, and you know the Caucasian women are they with it. You know, I love them.
They with
love
whatever.
my love. But they
Man,
they
all
with it.
bitches is with it.
That's
man.
the thing.
No. But see, no, a
Black girls hit you
a
with that.
black girl will be like, "Yo, don't touch my hair, though."
Right.
Yeah, they don't like what certain
Definitely.
Or
position.
I'm not doing this
Or you
position
can't
Yo,
hit
my
it in the
makeup.
shower. You're not hitting it in the shower.
because you're gonna mess up my hair.
Exactly.
So there's limits to a black girl.
I
that
hear
white
that.
girls
Well,
don't
some
have.
are physiological, like dealing with hair and things like that.
Right.
That's science. You can't do
No,
it.
that's when you throw the water on her anyway. You know what I'm saying? Make
that's
her
the
have
thing.
to jump
I got
in the
news
shower.
for you. You think black women and white women are the same, man? Women want to be treated a certain way. It depends on the girl. Some girls they want to act like they're all tough, but then they want you to take control, whether they're black or white.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter. Sometimes they say don't touch my hair, and guess what you do? touch their fucking hair anyway.
Snatch that shit up.
I treat all
like-
women with respect anyway,
I'm
though.
with you, bro.
I feel like everything is leveling out now, though. I feel like
Well, let's talk about the level because you specialize in the perfect mix, which is the Spanish girl.
How you know I specialize in this?
Because I could tell. Where you from again? Where you from?
I'm from 143rd and Amsterdam.
Exactly.
Broadway, Dominican Republic.
Broadway,
right down the block.
exactly. Broadway.
I'm from downtown, but I mess with. Honestly, I'm the same way. Me and him like the same way. Like
Oh,
Spanish. Like before my,
Nah,
my
but we
girl,
love
I was
all
Spanish.
types of girls. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
I love the dark-skinned chicks with the booties.
Ooh, I love my
all
black
of that.
women.
For sure, yeah, because you know we gonna
Like, he
get
love 'em
bashed
too. He
right
about
after
to get
we
in
I
trouble.
love everything. No, my wife knows I love everything. What can you do?
Yo, he is a
She get mad at you when you look at another girl.
Listen,
booty?
No.
He be on Twitter wilding, DMing girls.
I don't watch
talking
yo,
about
chill.
their cleavage,
You
etc.
can
Chill,
chill.
man,
bro. Chill. We
You
didn't
a
say
titty man.
we didn't say
You can tell
DM.
he loves some titties. You can tell Rosa
I do love some titties, but I love ass too. I love it all. But
He
listen,
got the bid for the titties.
how does that work?
Yeah,
Teach
what they
me.
talk
Hold up.
about this?
You following styles over here.
Yo, hold up.
I love all kinds of chicks. I'm with you. I mean, when you live in New York, you have such a multitude of
It's a
women to
gumbo pot
appreciate.
full of women.
Not any, no other area has the mix we have. Like there are certain kind of girls here that only exist here. Like you don't find, honestly speaking, Puerto
Lord.
Rican and Dominican chicks don't really exist in every city in the country.
What about Puerto
if you go to
Rican and
Toronto-
Trinidadian?
Yo, Puerto Rican and Trinidadian.
Come on now.
Jeez Louise.
Papa Cheese.
Jeez Louise.
Cheese Louise, Papa Cheese.
All right, so before we get too far, let's focus on the single, Thriller.
Traumatic.
Or Traumatic, excuse me.
Oh, Ebro Gets Old. That was a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
Thriller.
Traumatic, sorry.
Well, we did have a song called Triller.
Yeah,
Triller.
Triller. Method Man, why Method Man on that song?
Because first of all, me and him both got a list. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you noticed that. But anyway, you know, I just feel like he represented the 90s and he was one of the most underrated rappers that was killing it in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? That had a flow, and I just wanted to, you know, see what that was about.
Isn't it funny though? That shows to me an age difference because historically, you're right. Now, I would say Method Man is a little underrated.
Then?
Going back,
Never.
couldn't have been underrated. He was a monster. Like as someone who was
Yeah, definitely.
like older.
definitely.
Like Method Man and Redman came out of that era. I mean, they were gonna have a show on Fox.
They did.
They
Didn't they
remember
get-
it got canceled.
it got-
Did it?
I think it
Did
got
it
on
hit the
for a while.
TV? And
Nah,
then
I
it got
think
canceled.
it got
It got
canceled
canceled.
So they had a movie that did
They had
well.
movies. I mean, they killed it. They still tour, but
Their brand was crazy.
now the video's out now, right?
Yep.
What's the reception on the song? How y'all feeling about it? People picking it up? People loving it?
People picking up, man. I read a couple of. I usually don't read comments on my joints, but like I read the comments on these, and like, yo, man, people feel like hip hop is back. Like people saying that like they couldn't tell whether it was from the 90s or 2000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the review on it is good, man.
So do
Like,
you feel like the skeptics that was looking at ASAP Mob and Rocky and Ferg, like, oh, they trying to be down south, this kind of helped them, this helped that
definitely. I've been
image?
seeing a lot of that, man. Like I didn't expect this from the mob, and a lot of people on my side.
You
right
know
now,
what
so-
should have deaded all this to me? When anyone even had those thoughts, and don't get me wrong, I think overwhelmingly people's feelings on ASAP Mob are positive. I hosted Rock the Bells. I've introduced them in front of 20,000 people before. I know the love's there, but this should have all been deaded when you found out there that the leader, if you will, ASAP Rocky, is named after Rakim. That should have been the end of the conversation. Like, you know how New York hip hop based you are by the nature of the crew?
Right.
Oh, and his sister's name is Erica B.
Yeah,
They fronted with that.
Yo,
Like,
come
that was
on.
clever.
Shout out to the Cuzzo too, man.
No doubt.
But no, I think it's great, man. I think I just get so excited to hear. Like, there was a time when if you pointed out to guys your age who were popping that something sounded 90s, they'd be a little embarrassed. They'd be like, when really it's not about sounding like an era. It's sounding like good New York hip hop, and
exactly.
that makes people think of an era.
Well, and also the appreciation for how important the boom bap is
Exactly.
to hip hop. That
That's what we
drum,
wanted to
the
do
boom,
with
the
Trillmatic,
bip.
you know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean? That's
Right.
an important element of just what hip hop was, is
Right.
that snare and that kick and spacing it out. But ASAP Mob, we salute you.
Are you
We
gonna ask
thank
this
you.
man what it was like to work with Shabba Ranks though, real quick?
Good question. Good question. Talk about it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that? We shot the video. He was in the video. A lot of people don't know that. But we went to the studio right after the video. And Shabba just went in. He actually did the whole song, the whole beat by himself. But we just picked the best verse and just like pieced it together.
So he did the song basically.
He
There's
did
a
the whole
verse
song.
down.
I have an original. Yeah, I have an original song
Where's
with just
that at?
him on it.
Where's that at?
I got that in the.
No, I can't. That's not.
We can hear, you know, when we
You ain't
get
gonna
out, you know.
you ain't gonna put that out.
I don't know about all that. We might
Yo,
have to save
my
that for
G,
later.
come on.
I gotta save that for my Tupac stash. You know, like when I'm gone.
Yeah,
and all
the
that.
lost tapes.
Yeah, exactly.
The ASAP Ferg lost tapes.
Exactly.
Deluxe edition.
I just got the 45 for Jingling the other day. Kind of crazy.
You know what's crazy though? I was at the BMI Awards with Busta Rhymes pulled me to the side. He like, yo, and you know how he's fucking big and shit. He's like,
I need to get on that song, B.
Yeah, he punched me in my chest.
Really good.
Shout out to Busta.
He
yo.
got punched me in my chest after the Drake joint, B, for real.
then when he heard Shaba
know
was
my
on
chest.
it, he went bananas like, yo, because he didn't even know Shaba was going to be on it. He just did his verse. And I'm like, yo, Shaba's on it. And then he heard it, he went bananas.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Yo, Shaba did that thing. Serious justice. Busta put it down. I have to admit, Migos, fellas. I like the Versace song.
Right.
Y'all could have did more work on that remix, my G. And you gave him love.
Right.
You put him in a good position.
Definitely.
You
People
put him
like,
in
and the kids like their verse.
people like
But
it.
for
their
us,
verse.
man,
I like
yeah,
their
he
verse.
likes it.
I mean,
You
call
know what
me
it
a
is?
hater. Call me
Fucks
old.
with their music, period. I fucks with them.
See, I ain't ready yet. And then when I sat down with him, I was like, I don't get it yet.
I think Quavo and Takeoff, like, they're really like good rappers if you actually listen to what they're saying.
They
got flow.
They're the epitome of trap music, and they actually can rap. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, other than a lot of trap shit I hear, like they actually can rap. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna take y'all word for it, man.
Yeah, listen to them.
You're old, man. You gotta listen to the kids
man.
sometimes.
You
All
get
right, I'm listening,
Yeah.
man.
I think people just hear the Versace, and then they just like, oh,
Well,
whatever. They tune them out, but you gotta listen to their other shit.
Yeah, they got a
Trust
song
me.
called Broken Knees
Trust
right
me.
now. Fire.
Yo, shout out to the mob, man. Good luck with all your
No
shit.
doubt, G. Couldn't come at a better time because it got like that New York flavor, you know what I'm saying, that they probably wasn't getting from ASAP. Like you got like Shaba and Work, and you know, not to take anything away from that, but it's really showing like a whole different aspect of ASAP.
I just want to say that, you know what I'm saying? Like from the get go, we came out on our 90s, you know, shit.
Right.
So for us to be on some 90s stuff now is nothing new. You know
Well, I
what
think
I'm saying?
people are confused by it because here's the thing: the mob is big, right? So, like in both Rocky and Ferg, who have been the most public faces of the mob, you could clearly see the influence, particularly in Rocky when he first came out, the Houston influence.
beef unless you say my name or you say his name or you say something.
Shout out to Pro
directly at
Era.
us.
Those are the
Ferg,
little
you don't
homies.
see any issues here.
Hell no. Those are the little homies. We was just on tour with them.
Shout out to Pro Era. You guys, I think it's cool, man. I was just saying this the other day. New York hip hop is in a fantastic place. So
Right.
let's since we're tackling controversy, let's
Let's
jump
go.
right into it. Trinidad James said what he said about New York. You guys are prime examples of New York artists who have gotten supported by New York radio.
And Trinidad James is a colleague of ASAP.
We was just on tour with him
Yeah.
too.
So how
That's
did you,
funny.
So how did you feel about that?
On the Hot 97 Morning Show, Rosenberg, Old Man, and the Mob.
Well, hold on,
ASAP.
watch how we do it. Each of you say your name. I'm gonna point to you, and then their name's gonna appear on the screen. It's gonna
Okay,
be amazing.
do it,
Ready?
do it.
1, 2, 3.
Hey man, I'm ASAP Ferg, that trap lord.
See that?
What's up, man? It's ASAP Nasty Baby.
What's up, ASAP 12? You the good going. Holla.
Yeah. The mob is here.
I think the most important thing to address off top is a rumor on the internet, which probably isn't true. I'm going to bring it up. That ASAP Mob and Pro Era have some sort of friction and conflict.
Negative.
False.
Those are-
Negative.
Those are the little bros.
All right, good.
So we're quelling that right now.
I like that.
It's quiet.
Love it.
doubt.
Love it.
But y'all heard that too, or am I off base?
Nah, I didn't hear nothing about that.
I mean, I've been hearing about it, and you know, like I feel like it's recently been sparked now that I put out the Trailmatic record, and they feel like, you know, we're jacking they swag with the whole '90s thing.
Oh,
but,
the boom bap beat, Method Man.
yeah, that kind of thing. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
other
But
people
it's-
felt that they would be upset about it.
It wasn't like, you know, like any of the main members that, you know, that I know of. So I'm not taking it as any Pro Era ASAP, you know, until any of them speak up and say something directly.
Man,
I
those
never
are the
really
little
take it
bros.
as
Good comment.
I mean, I just feel like he got an album coming out and he ain't got a single.
Trolling.
out.
He was trolling.
Exactly.
But that's
like-
still the homie.
Exactly.
Still the homie.
That's still a homie.
But trolling.
Exactly. You got to make some type of noise. Everybody does it.
And maybe, and I always said, I thanked him actually.
Right.
You know, as a fan of the scene and somebody who has challenged the scene and said that there's minors and majors and all of that, and people had issues with it. But I just wanted to push everybody to be like, nah, fuck that.
Right.
Your shit got to be hot.
Definitely.
I thanked him because I see now how people have come together.
And they stepping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Mano talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, Trillmatic came